Yea, step forward, my child, so I can see if you're on the guest list. For I am St. Peter, official bouncer of heaven. What is thy name?
I'm Jim Stevens. I was the one that came up with the idea of the Yoda earmuffs that you put on dogs. They were really popular.
Jim Stevens. Ah, here you are. Walk forward, my child, and receive your afterlife gift package.
Hey, this is just 4 copies of the Da Vinci Code. I hate that book.
Next. Yea, step forward, my child, so I can see if you're on the guest list. For I am St. Peter, official bouncer of heaven. What is thy name?
Prince.
Prince?
Just Prince.
The Prince?
It could be under the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yes, I know who you are, but there are some special terms next to your name. Just a moment, Your Highness. Paul?
Paul, get in here for a second.
What is uppeth?
Prince is here.
Prince who?
The Prince. Purple Rain guy. The symbol. Yeah, him.
Yo, boy. You know who's going to want to seeth him ASAPeth. Your Royal Highness, will you follow me, please?
I'm curious to see where this experience is headed. Proceed!
I gotta telleth you, that Super Bowl show was miraculous. Big fan here. Lord, Prince is here.
Prince who?
The Prince. New power generation. The purple one. 1999. That Prince.
Oh, my stars and garters, thank me, you're here, Your Royal Highness. I remember hearing controversy for the first time, and I had no idea what I was listening to. It was a revelation, and a much better one than that Paul guy wrote. Anyway, where was I?
You were saying you were glad I'm here.
Oh, yes. The music here is awful. Satan used to be in charge of the music here, but you know how that went, and ever since it's just been trumpets that only play one note and harps. Endless harps. You know that game where people ask you if you were on a deserted island and could only take one album? Well, the only one I get up here is harps, the never-ending and completely uneventful sessions. Anything sounds better than what I have. Even the Batman soundtrack, no offense.
None taken. So you're asking me to produce the music of heaven?
Yes, exactly. Is that too much to ask? No? Okay. Well, I was thinking of like a blend between smooth funk with serious backing bass line and perhaps some slick guitar with... Oh, wait. What am I telling you for? You're Prince.
That's right, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the new saint of sweet tracks, Prince.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. It's a very special episode. As we all know, yesterday, April 21st, Prince Rogers Nelson passed away and left this earth. And left us here going, God damn it, Prince. Seriously, what the fuck, man? Not cool. I thought you were above all that shit. But apparently he was not. He will be missed. So we've got a special episode today on Stinker Madness. I'm your host, Justin. With me, as always, are Sam and Jackie. Sam, how are you doing?
Well, other than the somber news, I'm well.
Okay, all right. Jackie?
I just bumped your extra time in your kiss.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite Prince songs. I just wanted to throw it in there.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm a Prince fan.
I guess we'll allow it. Rough news for the three of us. We're all pretty serious Prince fans. Like, I've been into Prince for basically my whole life. Like, that guy started making records right as I was born. And then that was pretty much because you have the pop hits that carry you through the 80s. And then you have the, like, that phase in the mid-90s where you're like, well, grunge is cool, but, dude, sometimes I like hearing a pop jam. But then he's, like, getting nasty. Like, everything is, like, about fucking right about then. And you're all about fucking. So it's like, well, this sounds pretty good. And then you have the 2000s where you're like, dude, being 20 is really stupid. But then you're like, yeah, still got that fucking Prince music. And then after that, you grow into an adult. And he kind of did the same time. And it's all just sweet jams from then on.
Yeah, it is. I always wondered, like, the first 2 times he's like, can I play my guitar? And he's asking, then he does it. And you're like, well, shit, if you're going to play it like that, you should ask first. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, I just got my
can
face
I
melted
Can I
off.
offend everybody else who's ever touched this instrument by making them feel inadequate? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep, you did.
I saw him. I didn't see this when it came out, but back in 2004, when George Harrison died, they had a big to do, and see all the
Wilburys
were there. Tom Petty, not
Jeff
Roy
Lynne.
Orbison because he was dead. Jeff Lynne was there. There was a couple other guys that I don't think were. They might have been floaters, but Prince walks in. He plays the fucking solo, and I'm sorry, George Harrison, but my God, Prince can fucking play the guitar.
Everybody, it's anytime he does it, it's always better.
Oh shit!
It's ridiculous.
Ooh, sorry,
It's like
everybody.
when he does the "When My Guitar Gently Weeps," it's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
just
that's the song that they played.
Yeah,
it was fucking stupid. Anyways, we're gonna do some streaming do's and don'ts. Oh, guess what? It's the Prince special. The as I like to call it, the Prince collection. Starting with Purple Rain, which is the movie that we're gonna watch. It is currently streaming on Amazon Prime and YouTube for $2.99. Actually, you know what? Stat correction. So here's the deal. Amazon's a bunch of fucking assholes because today I'm like, I don't have a copy of Purple Rain. We got to watch Purple Rain. Oh, it's on Amazon for $2.99. It's also on YouTube for $2.99. The Prince thing blows up. 2 hours later, I go back and I'm starting to make links to stuff on the website.
sure.
Price went up $1 on Amazon.
Oh, what a bunch of cocksuckers.
Yeah, dude, they knew. Man, come on, Reg.
That's asshole.
Yeah, it's pretty dick. I mean, I don't have any proof other than what my eyes beheld.
Well, that's enough.
Yeah, but come on, man. So yeah, we'll see how Purple Rain has anybody of us seen Purple Rain?
I've never seen Purple Rain.
I've seen it a couple of times.
Okay.
Oh, have you?
I never watched Purple Rain either. It just wasn't my bag, baby. Under the Cherry Moon, Razzie winner, also starring Prince. It's on Amazon for only $2. So you got that one. Last but not least, starring Prince, Graffiti Bridge.
Also written and directed by Prince.
Yeah, starring Prince. And it's the unofficial sequel to Purple Rain.
It's pretty much, I believe he's still the kid and the characters are completely recurring. So
Right, yeah.
it's the sequel.
Yeah, just wasn't allowed by the studio. I don't know. Anyways, it's on Amazon for $2. That will probably be a future episode of Stinker Madness as well, because it's a huge Razzie winner.
Five Razzies at one.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, got to go there. We've talked about Action Jackson before, starring his once passed flame, who also passed away this year. Vanity is on Amazon for $2.99. However, all three of us said Action Jackson sucked.
Yeah,
we
it
didn't
did.
like it.
Yeah, but, Never Too Young to Die.
Hey, speaking of Never Too Young to Die, is free still on YouTube. And
Yeah.
one of the raddest bad movies of all time, starring John Stamos and Vanity in a much bigger role. Prince was also involved in the music with that a little bit, is what I read today, was that he produced some of the songs that came off of the Vanity pieces. I mean, not the Vanity pieces, the
I saw
pieces
the-
by Vanity.
I saw the pieces came off Vanity. Hooey!
Yeah. So that one's a total due. 3 dues from us. Go back, watch Never Too Young to Die. Also check out our episode when we covered Never Too Young to Die. It was like our 7th episode or something.
It was
So
very early on.
pretty far back in the day. But yeah, there's your streaming do's and don'ts. Moving on to the wild card. Hey, guess what? It's the Prince special. Who will win in a knife fight? We've got 3 contenders.
I'm going to say Prince.
We've got 3 contenders, all against Prince, who we should be aware is a small man.
5'2".
He was 5'2".
Really?
He was not big. Couldn't weigh more than 110 pounds soaking wet. Not a big guy. But you got to watch those little guys, you know.
Mhm.
They get in there.
Wiry and fast.
Yeah. This should be a no-brainer. Now, don't forget, you have to put your personal biases aside.
Yeah.
Who will win in a knife fight? Prince versus Bono.
Prince.
Prince. Prince takes his purple peace sign guitar thing, whatever that symbol that he
Knife
had
fight,
made.
not a guitar
Knife
fight.
No.
fight, yeah.
Yeah, but his knife is in this guitar.
No. These
He's
are just,
jamming away. He pulls out the top of the guitar as a knife.
He's got to ditch the guitar.
Yep, and he sets down his guitar and he goes after Bono and just slices him up like a piece of fresh meat.
That's true. Bono does not have a knife in his guitar.
I would say that how it would go down is that Bono, being the seeing all of the violence in Ireland at the time, would try to talk some sense and end the violence, but before he even got done with the first sentence, Prince would be handing him his own heart.
Yes, I completely agree. Bono loses. Prince wins. Round 2. These are all sequential, so Prince doesn't get a break. They just bring out the next guy, like
Game of Death.
Game of Death, Roman gladiator style. Winner takes all. Prince versus Sting.
Well, I think he's going to have a little bit of a harder time
Okay.
because Sting is flexible.
Yeah.
But
Sting has also appeared in a film in which he's involved in a knife fight.
he also loses that knife.
Yeah, he does. Dune against Kyle MacLachlan.
And he is just in a movie where he has a knife. Prince grew up in Minnesota. He knows how to use a knife.
Because it's cold? Why Minnesota? What does Minnesota have to do with knives?
It's the land of 1,000 lakes. He probably He can probably gut a fish with one hand while he's playing keyboard with the other hand, right?
Yeah, so he's part Indian?
Well, I don't know. I've heard that he's a fishing enthusiast. Everybody in Minnesota fishes.
Yeah, I guess that's free food up there.
Yeah.
So we're still taking Prince.
Yes, I'm still taking Prince, even though the
I'm gonna
flexibility.
Yeah, I think in that Sting goes for a flexibility move, and then Prince is like, fuck that shit, rips out his fishing knife and gets him.
He's like Sting tries to pull a Dalsum, and then Prince just gets in there like Ryu would, gives him a tiger uppercut, but at the end of that tiger uppercut is a fucking blade.
He starts to get really flexible and do a stance, and then he blinks, and then Prince is gone, and he's directly behind him already.
In a puff of purple smoke.
Yeah, holding both of his kidneys.
Last but not least, the final round, Prince versus Madonna.
That bitch is pretty mean.
Yeah, she is mean. Like, I don't know. You could probably punch her in the face, though, and it probably wouldn't do too much because you know that woman's had some work done.
Yeah.
And some Botox. Yeah. And she's got those man arms. I think that he's going to have to rely heavily on his ability to crouch and duck.
Speed and stealth.
Yep.
Now, here's a question. Is she going to have her pointy bra, and will the bra have blades on it?
No, this is just a straight up knife fight. No extra weapons, so that's disqualified. But she can still have the pointy bra. It just can't have
knives on it.
I guess by nature it's pokey, but
yeah,
well, but
pokey
not knives.
Isn't really. Well, as long as he
could lose an eye if he runs full force into her.
Well, that's where I was saying if she had razor blades on the if the boobs were actually weapons, there's a chance of him getting injured seriously while killing her.
Say they're just the normal pokey turbo rocket boob bra, and he runs full face into her, loses an eye. Does it matter? Is he going to stop him from winning that knife fight?
No.
He's
just going to lose an eye.
He's going to lose an eye to Madonna, but only after 2 previous rounds, and he struggled with Dalsum Sting.
This is to say that Madonna doesn't stop the fight and beg him to have sex with her.
Ooh.
Which he just stabs her to death afterwards.
Praying mantis style.
Because it is a goddamn knife fight.
Yeah, he could bone her and then bite her head off and then stab her in the chest.
You're like, oh, that's so ruthless. He's like, well, it's a goddamn knife fight. I took a break. I had sex with her.
I stabbed her a couple of times with my penis, and then I went in for the kill.
Right. Yeah. Yep. All right, Prince wins. Ding, ding, ding. Sam, tell us about Purple Rain.
Wait, I'll bring you in, Sam. Purple rain, child. Honey, I know Sam's gonna give us some awesome shit. Purple rain. Go ahead, Sam, and give us some shit. Purple rain.
All right.
Okay.
Cut. Somebody get the broom. Push her off stage.
Shenanigans. Purple Rain was made in 1984. John Lewis Nelson, a Louisiana native that drifted to Minnesota pursuing a jazz career, would eventually begin performing under the name Prince Rogers and would later form the Prince Rogers Trio. In 1956, Nelson would meet Matty Delashaw, who would become singer for his group. By 1958, the two were married, though Nelson may have already been married to someone else named Vivian Nelson, who he had 4 children with. The same year as their marriage, Shaw, now Nelson, would give birth to a son. This child would be named Prince Rogers Nelson. In an interview, John Lewis Nelson said he gave his stage name to his son as he wanted Prince to be able to accomplish all of the things that Nelson was never able to accomplish. I think he did. and then 1,000 times over.
Oh, yeah.
1,000?
Yeah. Well, actually, which I don't have in here, but John Lewis Nelson did co-write a lot of the songs that
Hey,
were really
all right,
popular.
all right. That's
And
cool.
he co-wrote a lot of the songs that were in Purple Rain.
Nice. All right.
So he is a very good musician. But, being a good musician doesn't really help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's still the luck. I think if you're as good of a musician as Prince, it doesn't matter. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like, he's better than everybody.
It's not
Wow.
just that he's better than everybody.
He had pizzazz and stage presence.
There's a character behind that sweet, sweet guitar.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just the guitar. It's he could play the piano keys about as well.
Yeah, he was a real good musician.
And then his writing and composition is relatively amazing. Prince would start his serious recording and performing as the guitarist of Minnesota-based band 94 East at the age of 17. He would receive his first solo contract at the same age in the year 1976. At 20, he had inked a multi-record deal with Warner Brothers. His first solo album, For You, would mark the beginning of a prolific career by possibly the greatest songwriter of all time, who happened to be an instrumental virtuoso. His studio album count would reach 39, the last being the double album Hit and Run, released in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Some estimate that including songs he wrote for other musicians and material that went unreleased, his total count would be well over 1,000 songs.
That's
Whoa.
so stupid.
And I say 39 albums. I'm not talking about comps and live albums.
That's studio albums.
39 original studio albums that he wrote.
One almost every year. And some 2 a year to make up for those ones where he didn't have one.
Though Prince is uncredited as a writer or producer, the concept and story of the film were Prince's creation. Originally, he had planned it to be more grim and sexual. There were many ideas left out, such as a scene where he would have sex with co-star Apollonia Quintero in a barn. The Great One, however, never left a good idea on the floor or let it go to waste. He would later use that story for the song Raspberry Beret, which I guess is about having sex in a barn. I didn't know that.
I like that song.
Hey.
Learn something. I mean, when there's that much material, you're going to learn something anytime you read about him, right? Before I mention the director, I will mention that this film grossed $68 million against a $7 million budget,
That's a pretty big success.
and currently still holds a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty high.
However, director Albert Magnoli will be back for at least Tango and Cash, if not both that, and American Anthem. He's also credited with television legend William Blinn for the script. Who knows how much they wrote, or each one of them, or if they were just tasked of taking the parts out that were a little too Princey.
Mm-hmm.
According to Magnoli, only about 2 or 3 scenes from Blinn's original version that he started to get a hold of make it into the final piece. So it got worked over quite a bit before it makes it out.
Sure.
Beyond the enormous returns that the movie generated at the box office, Purple Rain would go platinum 13 times in the U.S. alone, 6 times in Canada.
What about the UK? I imagine
Yeah, it's like 5 times.
5 times. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
How
lot
many
of album
albums
sales.
this sold.
I have Purple Rain.
The 5 singles from the album, 2 of them being number 1 hits, would also be some of the most popular music videos that had ever been created to that point in time. And the home release of the movie would generate excessive returns that no one had really seen before. This is one of Warner Brothers' most successful ventures of all time, and it's I think it's the only venture they've ever had that generated excessive returns in every single one of their divisions. This thing made all the cash, and it still made cash. Like, Purple Rain sold a shitload of albums for 20 years.
Right.
It never really stopped selling. So this whole thing is one of the most financially successful ventures that anyone has ever had.
I could agree with that.
Originally, Vanity was to be the co-star of this film, but the relationship between her and Prince had soured to the point that she even left her own band, Vanity 6. She was replaced in not only the film, but also in the band by actress Patricia Quintero, who would assume the moniker of Apollonia, which was her middle name. The band would also be renamed Apollonia 6, as they still had 6 boobs between the 3 of them.
All right.
That's why it was Venus 6.
Right.
It was a boob count.
Yep. And her original stage name was going to be Vagina.
Vagina, which, I wonder why she didn't want to do that. Kotaro had mostly worked in television, and even in that arena, single episodes of popular shows like Chips and Knight Rider. Nonetheless, she's one of the only veteran actors in this film. She also happened to be a Rams cheerleader before that. After Prince, she has been romantically linked with Master of Disguise Lorenzo Lamas.
Ooh.
Mm.
That's a downgrade,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Stinker Stakeable to...
Stinker. Yeah, well,
Staple.
he's that. His disguises are not good.
No.
Keep an eye out for one of the only other professional actors in the film, Clarence Williams III. You'll remember from the Mod Squad. And you've seen him 1,000 times in other movies. I guess you could also keep an eye out for the scores of other Minnesota-based musicians.
I probably won't find those.
Well, there's the the Revolutions in it.
Yeah.
And there's another band called Time from Minnesota as well.
Okay. To rebut your Rotten Tomatoes score, I do know that this song/movie/album holds a 44 Metacritic score.
Yeah, it's
with
45.
The sole 80 coming from Variety, who basically said, "Wow, what a great soundtrack."
Yeah.
So I think that this could be another one of those good movie debunked, or maybe it's a good movie disguised as a bad movie, but a good movie.
It's supposed to be a music video with interludes of dialogue.
We are going to have to put our personal bias aside and determine,
I'm let down that they're not going to have sex in the barn.
Well, they have
There's
sex
probably-
other places.
Okay.
Probably not any grenades in the barn either, but you never know. Minnesota's a wild place.
There's also a motorcycle in this show.
Actually, I believe, having known some people from Minnesota, that grenade in the barn is Minnesota code for herpes.
Ooh.
Oh, gross.
Of the butt.
Hey.
Because it's a barn. You have to
Yeah.
have herpes in something if there's
Yeah,
a grenade in.
You know, Sally Joe, grenade in the barn. You know what I'm saying? Hmm?
Of the butt.
Of the butt. Because it's not really code anymore at that point, right?
That's what makes it fun. All right. Well, as we said, the movie's on YouTube, Vudu, Amazon, iTunes, all sorts of places for $2.99. Make sure you watch it this weekend. Come back to us on Monday, and boy, I sure hope Prince got to the chopper. Fans of Stinker Madness, iTunes thinks you don't like us. What? How is that possible? Well, it's because you haven't given us a review yet. Go to Stinker Madness on iTunes and take just a couple seconds to rate and review us there. While you're at it, hit up Stitcher.com as well. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter @/Stinker Madness and email us at talk@stinkermadness.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening and get to the chopper.